remember growing up in rural New Brunswick. My childhood days were spent primarily playing around the house.
Mary, I'm off to work now.
Every morning when my mom went to work, she'd tell me to listen to the housekeeper while she was gone. She didn't want me to go wandering away and getting into trouble.
Stay in the yard.
Of course, I always listened to her. Mine was probably the last generation to learn the rudiments of education in a one-room schoolhouse. My older brother, Kleinel, attended a year before I did, but every morning at recess, I'd sneak up and watch him and the other children play. There always seemed to be some great wonder and intrigue going on. More than anything in my life at that time, I wanted to be a part of it.
Okay, boys, be still now. It'll only take a minute. Try to smile.
Picture taking, and every year, Mom even expected us to stand still and smile. Come on, Mom.
Great. You can go to school now.
Grade 1. I remember being scared that first day.
Final, you will sit in the second row behind June. Barry, you will find your place in the first
After
row
Mrs. Levitt
behind Blaine.
told us where to sit, I looked straight ahead and walked. I only looked around the room after I sat down, and then I saw some familiar faces. The older children seemed to have many chores to do before and after class. The water came from the nearest neighbor, which happened to be our home. I remember the smell of dustbane used to clean the floor. The water on the stove heated soup for the children who lived too far away to go home for lunch.
Quiet, class. Everyone to your own seat, please. Today is the first day of school for many of you. My name is Mrs. Levitt. The first rule you're going to have to learn is that at 5 to 9 every morning you stop talking, you go to your seats quietly, fold your hands in front of you on your desks. Remember, folded hands mean quiet hands. When I call your name out loud, I want you to answer present. Brian Anderson?
Present.
Eugene Anderson?
Present.
Diane Bothwick?
After roll call, Mrs. Levitt would have us recite the Lord's Prayer and read us a story from the Bible.
Class, today's story from the scriptures is from the book of Samuel. It's a story about David and Goliath. How many of you heard the story of David and Goliath? The Israelites were fighting with the Philistines. Their champion, the Philistine of Gath, who is also called Goliath, came up, and all the men of Israel fled before them, for they were sore afraid.
The grade 1s would usually start the day with some coloring, while Mrs. Levitt gave the lessons to the other classes. How Mrs. Levitt could have 6 grades doing different things at once and maintain order was always a great mystery to me.
Stop that.
One big advantage of a one-room schoolhouse was when you were tired of your own schoolwork, You could always listen to what was happening in one of the other grades.
Ow.
See you at recess.
My first day of school, and I'd already made an enemy.
Recess time. Put your books here, you two.
Recess time. I had looked forward to playing with the other children. But now,
Harry, go on out and play.
I was done for and I knew it. This is what school came down to, me versus the school bully on my first day. He had his eye on me and it wasn't going to be easy to hide. Maybe I could humor him.
Nothing, Shorty.
Yeah, get him, get him!
So David prevailed over the Philistine and smote him and slew him. I was David, and I had beaten Goliath. It was one of the best lessons I ever learned at school, that action can change a negative experience into a positive one. The old one-room schoolhouse may be long gone, but the values I learned and the friends I made have stayed with me all my life. Thank you, Mrs. Levitt.